Hey everybody, welcome back. Again, I've had the luxury of it being like a day since that last, who were we, Eve? Eve soy milk? It was a bit of a meme. Oh my. Okay, well, you know what? The best way to get yourself out of a little bit of a slump, ZYKXTQJT, is to, I guess, win with the hardest character to win with. But I don't know, for some reason, like, it might sound like I'm putting on airs to some extent. Which is a very, like, you know, literary way of saying being disingenuous. You know, to put on airs is to misrepresent oneself. Usually misrepresenting oneself to, you know, appear perhaps, you know, stronger than you are or better than you are in some way. But I actually feel like if you look at my success rate with the Keeper versus my success rate with Eve, I mean, I don't think we've had a win with Eve in a year. We've won with the Keeper, like, you know, not even a month and a half ago. So you may think I've lost it. I wouldn't necessarily say I got better odds as the Keeper. All I'm saying is that the stats may bear that out. Okay, you gotta press the spacebar from time to time. Well, you know, I'm gonna speak a little softer. We're gonna hit him with the Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a wooden nickel. It's only 8:40 in the morning. You know, it's a atypical sort of morning over here in the egg household. Baby woke up super early. You know, so parents woke up super early. You know, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this. I don't really have a problem getting to sleep most of the time anymore, and I'm very happy to have that. There have been periods in my life where I've been a little bit more of an insomniac. Most of it self-inflicted, to be honest. Just, you know, like staying up too late, destroying your sleep schedule, and then, you know, staring at blue light monitors. Oh my god, really? Really? We were doing so well. I guess we don't want deals with the devil anyway, no sweat. Staring at, you know, blue light monitors for like, you know, till the wee hours in the morning, and then getting in bed and being like, why can't I sleep very well? I guess this is, you know, what there's nothing I could do, dude. Okay, just relax. I'm not freaking leaving. This run's already good thanks to Small Rock. Grab this, grab that. I'm just gonna do this right away. I'm not afraid. If I could get you to possibly hit the fire, dude, that was so easy. Alright, not the items we're looking for, but plenty of money that we can use on our shop. But getting back to sleep, like if I've woken up, is sometimes a little bit of a... Let's not call it a struggle, because it's a very quiet one. But, you know, you just... You close your eyes, you don't fall asleep right away. You're like, maybe I'll just glance at my phone real quick. As soon as you look at the phone, it's over. You haven't admitted it to yourself yet, but you're like, I'm getting up. The last-ditch effort was I went to put my, like, Bluetooth... headphones in, because I usually fall asleep listening to like an audiobook. It just knocks me out like a light. And then I turned them on, and it was like battery low. And if you've never used, I mean, it might depend on the brand. Not super stoked about our item rooms on this floor, just for the record, but we got some good stuff otherwise. And hey, now that I think about it, we shouldn't even be blowing up tinted rocks. There's no need. We already got small rock. Unless we want to get a golden chest, maybe we have like a huge surplus of bombs, then it might be worth it. But remember, as the Keeper, that, you know, all spirit hearts and red hearts become flies. Not bad, but maybe not what we need, you know, for that kind of cost right now. But, you know, Bluetooth headphones, you know, the battery life is like, it's kind of like a cubic function, okay? Like, when the battery is from, you know, like 100 to 75% charge, it lasts, like, actually 50% of its time is in that range. I know that sounds extremely nonsensical. This is a very tough choice for me, by the way. I'm gonna walk out for a second here, because Black Candle is an insanely good item. I believe I did classify it in the S tier, or maybe the A tier, I can't remember. But, as the Keeper, don't we feel slightly differently? Don't we feel like maybe it would be better to use our money to reroll and try to get something like a Nun's Habit? I mean, it's the classic question, you know, about a bird in the hand, two in the bush. Here's the thing that annoys me. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, but what if the bird in your hand is like a little hummingbird, and the bird in the bush is like a frickin', you know, Moltres, or an Articuno or something? I think we go for the bird in the bush. I still think we go for the bird in the bush. Bro, you wouldn't. You jerk. You butthole. Okay, that's... We're gonna just save our money. Yes, not getting the candle is annoying. But I think we gotta recognize that as the keeper, you really want to mainline those items that are gonna win you the game. Boo, get back to the Bluetooth bit. Okay, so here's the thing. From 100 to 75, Bluetooth headphones, they're good, they're reliable. I think that's where they get about half of their battery life. Like, sometimes I put them in, fall asleep, I wake up like 4 hours later, and they're like 80% battery life. If they're on 20% battery life, don't even try. They're already dead. I said, like, it used to happen when I would go to the gym. You know, sometimes you forget to charge your Bluetooth headphones before you go to the gym. You go to the gym, you turn them on, and it's like 30% battery. And you're like, that's not so bad. They're supposed to have a 2-hour battery life, so... You know, what's 0.3 times 120 minutes? I don't know, it's like 40 minutes. I can live with that. Then as soon as it says 30% battery life, it goes boop, boop, battery low. And then it goes boop, boop, shutting off. Like 30 to 0, it happens in like a second. Now, these are not Apple AirPods. I bought, admittedly, like maybe this is my problem. I bought $50 Bluetooth earbuds on Amazon. They're from the renowned brand, maybe you've heard of them, Enac Fire. You know, the reviews were pretty good, and the price was nuts. $50 for Bluetooth headphones, and honestly, they've lasted me like a year and a half at this point. That's, you know, a little planned obsolescence maybe, and they still, like, they work great for my purposes, but I'll admit, I have been thinking, you know, maybe it's time to read some reviews of Bluetooth earphones. Why am I using Bluetooth earphones? Because, well, you know, like, I got onto, you know, a phone that has no headphone jack. I used to be a headphone jack guy. I'm still very much a headphone jack guy. I'm kind of, you know, this is a very, you know, impotent way of complaining about this. We already have 0.65 speed. I don't think we can justify that yet, but if we get a speed upgrade, I mean, I guess I don't really want to have the virus, because it is, I mean, it's only going to give us some flies. It's not going to give us some demon hearts, but it could contribute to spun. Okay, it's very interesting indeed. PhD could be worth something here. But yeah, so, like, the reason that they got rid of the headphone jack, I know that, like, there's some... Look, I don't want to be this guy, okay? Because I'm a headphone jack guy. I know there's been some people that are like, they got rid of the headphone jack so they could sell you the AirPods. There might be some truth to that. But at the same time, I think there's also something to be said about the fact that, you know, Bluetooth headphones were kind of the future to begin with. You know, people are going wireless more and more these days, and it's really like people like me who got a little bit of gray in their beard, maybe a little bit more than they had a couple of years ago, and we're the people online rattling around going like, this is ridiculous, don't you see, they're just trying to sell. Like, I think most people are kind of down with it, and I imagine, like, look, I'm not involved in microelectronics, obviously. I could barely even handle macroelectronics, you know, like a big steam generator that powers a single light bulb or something like that, but in spite of all of this, I do think there's probably a case to be made that if you remove the headphone jack and the actual, like, you know, circuiture, is that a word, circuiture? Why does it sound like it works as a word? If you, circuiture, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Sorry. I feel like if you remove that, you can fit, you know, maybe like a larger battery. But I'm kind of like my current phone has no headphone jack, and then also like a substantially worse battery life than the phone that I had prior to it. Especially like all these baby monitor apps and stuff like that. They just chew up the battery like nobody's business. You know, they're constantly, and you know, you leave them on because, you know, you don't want to turn them off and then have the catastrophe strike, but they leave them on because they like constantly, you know, have alarms they could run, and you know, they're using your microphone, and they're constantly connecting to Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Anyway. So it's running them down real quick, but I feel like I kind of got the worst of both worlds. However, the camera is incredible. No doubt about that. The camera's amazing. So, I think we do take Pentagram. Normally, we would be very cautious about taking deals with the devil, of course, but we do have HP right outside the room. That's kind of like the one circumstance where I would allow it, and this is a bird in the hand, man. Extra damage is a bird in the hand. So I'm very glad we didn't pick up the virus. I think if we picked up the virus, we would just be dead. So yeah, my Bluetooth headphones died on me, and I was like, oh, I can't listen to Joel Greenblatt's The Little Book That Still Beats the Market. So I might as well just wake up. And that's where we're at right now. Oh, hold on. I was just about to consider this. Your computer is running out of space. That's because Steam is downloading something in the background here. What the heck are you downloading? This is where you gotta give it a test. Does this game deserve to stay on the hard drive? Just give me one moment here. Does this game deserve to stay on the hard drive? We're about to check. Current game downloading. I'm just gonna tell you, does not deserve to stay on the hard drive. This game does not deserve to stay on the hard... Yeah, and you might be like, how are you running out of so much space? Like, it's just, oh man, 375 megabytes back. Okay, I've got no excuse for that one. But it's really like, I've been playing so many games. I really should just start installing, like, the games that are smaller. I know this sounds backwards, but... Install the games that are smaller on the hard drive and the games that are larger on the solid state drive, because you're trying to minimize loading times to begin with. But really, like, I've probably downloaded, like, dude, I don't know, can we even? It's zany, let's do it. There's problems here, but if we get tiers upgrades, we're gonna be happy. I've probably downloaded, like, I don't know, a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, right? I've probably downloaded, I don't know, like half a terabyte of games in 2021 already. I was bragging about it the other day. I'm not afraid to admit it. Let me check. Two of clubs. Okay. Okay, you know what? There's no reroll machine in here, so I'm just gonna do that. But, you know, 2017, or 2017? 2021 is, you know, only like 40-something days old, and I've already streamed in like 44 different categories. It's a lot of games, man. Like, and I am deleting, like, or uninstalling, I should say, like a lot of them after I play them, but still, things fill up fast, and then also, you know, the video files along with everything else. So one of the, you know, it's pretty minor. It's one of the annoying things about being a streamer, though, is people who literally just play like 2 games and use their computer otherwise just for browsing the internet and talking smack. Like, they'll be like, how does your hard drive fill up so fast? And you're like, maybe because I'm trying to entertain, you know, a small municipal-sized arena. I'm not filling Wembley Stadium on occasion. I'm not one of those, you know, the new hotness, like, Minecraft YouTubers who they wear, like, a hoodie, and then people go like, whoa, look at the hoodie, what, dude, crazy. But, you know, we're filling up like a small university, you know, theater on occasion. Occasionally, you know, it's worth noting I might have, help me, help me, I might have different, you know, use cases for my computer than somebody that's playing League of Legends, you know? I get, if you've only got one game on your computer that you play, you only need to play one game, but we're not in that boat. Something, but yet you've played 3,000 hours of Isaac. Something, shut up. Sorry, a little beneath me. I thought that this would be fine. It's not fine yet, but it is kind of spooky. We need more of a tiers upgrade than I thought. I don't know, I actually don't really feel like what I feel like getting that second triple shot was kind of fine. It's just that, you know, the damage output is actually really... Oh my god, really? Is actually quite nice, but having an unbelievably low rate of fire is really bad. You know, without a doubt. Now this is it's something I've done to myself. Let's just admit it. But okay, that's very nice actually. We're back, baby. Okay, this could talk about low rolls, but life goes on. Probably could have gone to our boss trap room there as well, but really, this one's all about the shop. That was a necessary alges, without a doubt. This is why we got the bombs too. Okay, something's gotta give here, man. We got some issues. That's all I'm trying to say. The 0.65 speed combined with you know, this rate of fire is somewhat unsustainable. Everywhere I look, all I'm trying to find is like a room that could give us some value, man. Just an item room, a shop, anything really adjacent to any of this would be pretty swell. It's a secret room. Money? Money! Did I tell you my joke yet? That it's not really like a good joke. I think you have to make it in a video form to make it make any sense at all. But it's the start of Pink Floyd's song Money. You know, so it's and then Mr. Pink, his voice comes in, but instead of money, he goes, "Mommy!" And it's the 10-foot tall vampire lady from Resident Evil Village. Did I tell you that one yet? I think, look, you're never going to be able to monetize it, but if you tweeted it, I think it would do fairly well. If you're out there, like, do you ever think about, and the answer is probably no. You ever think about how different social media platforms are, though, based on their monetization? Like, if you're my size on YouTube, you can do pretty well for yourself. There are people my size on Twitter, and I don't think you, like, I've obviously never made, like, a dime off of Twitter, but, like, the only way I think you can even monetize Twitter is, like, I mean, we'll take it. I'm not thrilled, but we'll take it. The only way you can even monetize Twitter is, like, after you make a tweet that goes viral, like, you get contacted by one of these, like, weird, like, drop shipping companies, and you make a post under your viral tweet that you probably stole to begin with that is like, whoa, guys, check out, like, this amazing light that makes it look like you have stars on your bedroom ceiling. Like, and then, like, I've seen, because I've spent some time on Twitter in my day, complaining mostly, but, like, so you make a viral tweet, and then you get contacted by one of these companies, and then after you make the post, because sometimes you go viral for, like, you know, a social reason, for example. People are like, yo, like, check out this hero, and then, like, you know, it's a firefighter, like, saving a cat from a burning building or something like that, and then under that, they post, like, check out this amazing, you can have, you know, your own custom digital photo frame, and then people go, like, I mean, it's close, man, it's close. People go like, what the heck? I thought you were just doing this for the love of the game. And they go, hey, shut up. They offered me $50 to hawk this weird, you know, fat burning tea under the tweet. And I'm like, man, $50? Thing's got like 400,000 retweets. They're paying you $50? Twitter is a weird one. And again, I'm not trying to bite the hand that feeds here at all. But like when you have a sponsored deal, you, like, they always want you to make a social post, and usually they want you to make, like, an Instagram post, but I don't, like, have an Instagram, so, you know, I'm always like, is Twitter fine? And they're like, yeah. And then when you look at the, like, when we invoice for sponsored deals, the prices that people are baking in for these social posts is crazy, man. Like, I think the stream, I've long been, unabashed about the fact that, like, the economics, okay, we gotta relax here for just a sec. The economics of content creation are very strange. Any content creator over a certain size gets paid more than they're worth from the perspective of what their labor costs them. It really depends, I think, on how you feel about a job, you know? Like, should a job be something where you get compensated Based on the amount of unhappiness, we knew that was coming. I think I'm gonna die on this room, dude. Combination of low shot speed plus this tractor beam. Like, I think there's some degree of that, right? Like, the idea that people believe, like, a job... salary should be, like, proportionate to its difficulty or to its unpleasantness. This is also miserable, but that's fine. Just give it a sec. This is not a good time to have 0.65 speed, but we're just going to take our time. I don't even think we go on this one. Maybe just try to extinguish these fires right now. We're going. We have so many keys. We could take this. Bro. I'm dying out here. You're trying to get me killed by blast assist. I'm having hot takes about the industry. Okay, there we go. Anyway, the economics of content creation are very strange. What I mean by that is, you know, it depends on the model of what you have for occupations to begin with, you know? I think the best example of like what I'm trying to talk about here is like, you know, paramedics versus professional athletes, okay? I'm not suggesting that one has more value to society, but if we're being honest, like, I like sports, but it's probably the paramedics. If you'll excuse me, I would like to get to this. Thank you. And yet, you know, a professional, the average, like, professional athlete, how much are they making, you know, annually versus how much the paramedic makes? You know, there's a huge discrepancy. However, how much, you know, capital does the professional athlete generate for the owner of the franchise or whatever? You know, more than a paramedic, which is not to say they have more, you know, intrinsic value, pardon me, on like a societal level. But of course, you know, if you're the professional athlete, you're like, well, I'm making the owner, you know, $100 million a year from having me on the squad. So if you think I'm going to settle for, like, you know, 75 grand a year, you've lost your mind, you know? And then you get even, okay, just like, how about a non-active item showing up in, like, a single item room? Just throwing that out there, that might be something I would be interested in at some point. Because this run is going to go down the crapper pretty soon. And I feel like that's what content creation is like, right? Like, most content creators, again, over a certain size, from a misery standpoint, it's completely unfair. You do a job that's like a lot of fun, almost all the time. And I've long been a proponent of the idea that when content creators kind of like lose sight of the fact that it's supposed to be fun, that's where they've lost their way. And I've gone through that and come back from it a few times. I think it's kind of a natural cycle that you take things for granted and you work it back. But on the other hand, you're like, you know, if you're taking a sponsored deal, you're getting paid just, you know, more than you feel like you deserve for sure. But, you know, supposedly, you're also generating, you know, kind of a return for the sponsor themselves. So it's very weird, but like nowhere is it more profound than when you look at what people will charge for like a social post. I'm like, you're crazy. Nobody clicks on these. I know, like, you're like, shut up, dude. You're giving up the game. No, but like, look. This is a moment that we need to focus for a second. This has been a weird kind of run. I can't even get into the room. Like, that's, you know what? Congrats, okay? If you wanna take this to Meme City, let's take it to Meme City. It was either that or never go into the shop again. And honestly, like, never going into the shop again might have been the right call. And yet, like, I feel like we gotta here. Now, Trinket Smelter is kind of, you know, there's some temptation there. Sackhead is really good. We're very happy to see that. We need tiers upgrades, and we need them as soon as possible. Tarot Cloth is really good, but I'm honestly, like, I'm going for it, man. Because, like, we need a very specific subset of items here, and they are speed. Oh my god. It is a lot of damage, though. Okay, well, hold on. I may have been a little hasty earlier when I said that this was garbage. Honestly, it also allowing us to teleport out of rooms might be freaking sweet. I don't know, man. Like, I'm starting to believe in this one. I saw its face, now I'm a believer. Let me caffeinate here for a second. I've long been a proponent of the idea, like, I don't know that advertising actually works. And I know that people, anytime you suggest that, they automatically assume that you're naive and you don't understand that, like, if it didn't work, they wouldn't keep doing it. But I'm sure there's a lot of companies that have run, like, overly expensive advertising campaigns that have, like, bankrupted the whole company, right? Like, I'm sure it's happened. It's a business risk, you know? I'm not saying that they're all necessarily terrible, but it just, doesn't it seem like kind of like it's from a bygone era to you? And I understand marketing is not just, you know, commercials on TV or on the internet, but, like, I really don't think that I've ever purchased anything from an internet ad. I may have seen, you know, a commercial for something, or read a sponsored article about something, or maybe even watched a, you know, a stream that was sponsored, and then, you know, picked something up there. So maybe that's, like, the trend that the industry's going in. But just in terms of, like, ads that run before videos, I don't think so, man. Not to the best of my knowledge, at least. And then commercials, I don't know. When you're a kid, sure, you know, I probably, like, 90% of my cereal preferences probably were just caused by commercials, but blast them. This is a scary room. We always have strength to get ourselves out of this, but this is a very scary room when you're, like, so slow. Then again, I saw it coming, and I just said to myself, like, what can you even do? I think we may have just lost the run here, which would be, like, our first negative streak in a long, long time. So that's Magician. I mean, like, I just, statistically speaking, looking at this run, I don't know how we get out of it. Like, I don't think... I mean, there's some irony. If we had the orbital, we could get out of it. I just keep telling myself, man, like, it's just over, like, 6 weeks till repentance, dude. Just over 6 weeks till repentance. 6 weeks till repentance, dude. It's just 6 weeks till repentance. Just another 6 weeks, we'll have new items in the game. I think that we should form a petition, okay? It's a very simple petition. I'm not trying to be super rude about it. If there are statistical items in Repentance that are like shot speed ups, you know, tears ups, etc., etc., I think we should, and I'm joking here, so let's not say boycott, but I think we should kick up a fuss. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're going to teleport out. I guess we might as well just take the Magician with us to get some extra hits. But I think we should kick up a fuss. Because, like, how many runs is... And some of it's self-inflicted, don't get me wrong. But how many runs in a row is this where, like, our stats are just, like, straight garbage tier? Like, it's getting a little old. Now, yes, we took soy milk on a previous run. There's, you know, no mistake in that. Just wait it out for just a brief moment. Might as well take the Magician. Blast him! Blast him! Oh my god, we got out of it. I kind of don't believe it. We got an orbital. Take me down to the next floor. Okay, so, you know, if you're keeping score, just kind of hoping at some point we pick up either a, you know, a Tears upgrade... end or a speed upgrade. I hit him with the end or. Like, you know, the moon where the Ewoks live. Hoping for a good shot, maybe. Really, like, a speed upgrade is really less for, like, survival, although it is important for that. It's much more for just quality of life at this point. Anyway. I don't know, man. Like, if you ever clicked on something from a tweet that was like the tweet might get you to watch a sponsored stream, which might get you to pick up the product, but I'm not convinced about, you know, social media marketing. But I know there's people who disagree with me. It might work for some things. And actually, I should note there's a new wrinkle in this curmudgeon story, like that I always do all the time about how ads don't work. My wife, you know, has been on Instagram a little bit more lately because if you ever post like anything baby related on Twitter, people are like really weird about it. I don't mean weird in like the way that you might be thinking. I just mean like overly familiar. That makes sense. And on Instagram, people, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the platform, but people are largely just kind of there to, oh, let's go. Dude, I don't think we want the rosary. People are largely there to just kind of like, you know, see pictures and then log off, whereas on Twitter, they'd log on to argue, I think. So, she's been on Instagram more, and she has been influenced. I'm stupid. Buy some Instagram ads, but it's not like for a product online. It's for like local businesses. I don't know if that makes a difference necessarily, but you know, I think I'd be way more likely to be influenced by an advertisement that's like, hey, you know, check it out. Like, we're making sweet sandwiches or something like that. Instead of an instead of like a YouTube ad that's like, you know, buy a Mercedes E-Class or something like that. Okay, so we shouldn't have taken that HP because we could have used potato peeler once, but it's really not that big of a deal. I think we should get diplopia, but this is a diplopia that we're just gonna kind of hold on to for a minute here. And see what else we can get. Okay, Pandora's box is a bunch of money on this floor. I think we'd rather just get a heavy reroll. Compass is good, but it's not what we need. 9 volt is what we need. Okay, that's a start. And then do we want restock? I think we could be persuade... Ah, but we're so close to, you know, the end of the game here. Okay, so we got Black Candle again, which is insanely good. And Fanny Pack is great. And then Wooden Nickel, you might as well just, like, you know, use it here to see if it works. And then let's get the key and see what your card is. Justice. Actually, like, a really good card for us. And I think we're out of this floor. And it's not to try to finish the run faster. It's to save our lives. Okay, I mean, you can see for yourself the damage we're mustering here is awesome. It comes with a negative. And the negative is the amount of charge to ensure that we don't teleport is out of control. But okay, that was really good. I'm starting to believe we have a chance. Fanny pack is very helpful. I mean, I can't open a golden chest at this point. I'm an analyst. If we make this run work, like, I never want to hear somebody say that, like, I just throw runs away. There might be some lackadaisical gameplay at some points, but the core of wanting to win, like, it would have been really easy to just kind of give up on this one. Help. I have no idea how the shots are traveling. Oh, let's go. Okay. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about this run. Help me. Help me get away from myself. But also you. Help me get away from myself. Help me. Sometimes I really wanna be alone. But that's one state I'm never in. 'Cause every moment I got zillions of Isaac enemies. That's not how the song goes. That's not even a 9 Inch Nails song. That's a Weird Al Yankovic parody of a 9 Inch Nails song. From the album Running with Scissors. Anybody else out there own Running with Scissors? It's crazy, you know, like, sometimes I think about the fact that, like, you know how old you can get while still not being old? Like, I'm 32 years old, people still call me young man, and not, I mean, the age of the people calling me young man is definitely on the rise, don't get me wrong. Sorry, we have PhD, we should go back for that one. But, like, the world, sometimes I think, like, oh, the world hasn't changed that much since I've, you know, been born or whatever, or since I've had living memory. But I don't think that's really true, because, like, when I was 10, I bought Running with Scissors. The Weird Al Yankovic album, the Saga Begins on it. And I bought it at, like, one of the biggest buildings in my hometown. It was like, oh my god, thank you for the tears up. Thank God we went back. It was like a 2-story warehouse of CDs. Now, I will say I don't even remember the name of the business. It was probably called CD Warehouse, if I had to guess. But Yeah, I just remember, like, you'd go in, and it wasn't like a quaint little record shop. It was like, you know, you would go up the stairs, and there were, you know, racks on racks on racks on racks, etc., etc. Of any CD, tape, album you could possibly want, right? What is it now? I don't know. I think it's like some kind of furniture warehouse. You know, it's a big building, but, you know, it's not that, like, oh, there's been a slight shift in industry trends. It's like literally, like, over the course of my lifespan. Okay, come on, man. Come on. Over the course of my lifespan so far, we've gone from, like, the music industry, you know, being such a behemoth, it was able to sustain, you know, entire warehouses in semi-rural Ontario of merchandise, of inventory. And now is like, if you even saw, I mean, the strangeness of it, I suppose, is that, like, if you see a record store now, there's like a way greater chance that it's actually like an independent record store, which is kind of an inversion of what you'd expect. Like, it's the same with video stores. Like, there's still video stores in Vancouver, like a few, but if you ever see a video store, you know it's not a Blockbuster, right? Like, it's you know, Tim's Foreign Independent Cinema, which is, I think, is really neat. But also, I'm sure they're not crushing it, don't get me wrong, you know, the industry trends being what they are. But things have changed a lot, man. And there were steps along the way, you know? Like, I don't even know, the music industry in terms of physical sales might have even been, like, larger in like the 60s and 70s. Well, the 80s, I think, for sure, but than it was in the early 2000s. But, you know, then we got file sharing. Okay, so we went through, like, a file sharing era. And then we went through, like, okay, like the litigation era. And then, like, people were buying songs for $1.99 on iTunes. And then we kind of went through, like, Napster Spotify, where you would just, you know, go to a site, I don't know, like Groove Shark or something like that, and you would just listen to the music without even having to download it. And then now we're in, like, you know, like corporate Groove Shark, you know, Spotify, YouTube Music, which I like, I don't know, man, like, I don't want to be too, I don't know, I guess I do want to be a little upset with Google. I don't know why they integrated Google Play Music into YouTube Music. I'm the boomer who was using Google Play Music. Google Play Music, by the way, was totally fine. Already integrated with a couple services that I think I got it because if you got YouTube Premium, you got like a temporary 6-month all-access subscription to Google Play Music, and I was like, you know what, I kind of like this. $9.99 a month for, you know, like unlimited music of my choice. And then, like, you know, it's very classic, like, in my opinion, tech over engineering. You know, it's a platform that many people enjoyed and thought was perfectly fine. And then just one day, when you're happily using it, you get a message that's like, please migrate your service over to YouTube Music or you'll lose all your files and stuff like that. And you're like, really? I'm paying you $9.99 a month. Why am I going to lose my files? And they're like, oh, because we want to, you know, in Silicon Valley, you know, in Alameda, California, we want to make sure that it's all under the right silo. You know, the YouTube stuff, a lot of people listen to music on YouTube. Nobody even knows what Google Play is. The Google Play ethos, we did a focus group. People thought Google Play was, you know, something that you can only download apps on. So for brand unification, now look, I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. Maybe they have other reasons for moving it, but it's one of the very few times I've ever, like, moved from one service to, like, what you would think is just a relabeling, but is actually, like, so much worse. Like, maybe I'm a true boomer, but I don't even understand, like. I mean, I probably shouldn't even say it because I'm like, it makes me sound so technologically illiterate, but I'm like, I don't even understand how to, like, you know, remove songs from a playlist. So against all odds, check this out. We're going to the cathedral. We probably should not be alive right now, but here we are. Look at that. Coffee lasted me the whole episode. Who would have thought? So then, like, I thought, like, oh, I'll just get Spotify. But I don't know, Spotify is, like, I'm having trouble. Like, I think I signed up for it with like, my school email from when I was back in school for programming 4 or 5 years ago. But I no longer, like, have access to that email account, and Spotify doesn't want me to get, like, a new account or something. I can't remember how it worked. Maybe it's signed. I linked it with Facebook or something, and then I deleted my Facebook because I hate it. I don't know. So now I'm like, dude, I'm just adrift. I'm living a musicless existence out here, just in my head, as I, like, you know, do admin stuff in my head. I'm like, close to the edge, down by the river. You know how hard it is to remember all the, like, complicated syncopation and stuff like that in Yes is Close to the Edge? The song is, like, 17 minutes long. And it goes, bitty booty 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 booty. As it don't there, something changes to the summer. Who had to go something down and mad the bird. Like, it's nonsense. It reads like, you know, the back of a potato chip bag you'd buy at Whole Foods. Like, I just want to know the ingredients, but instead they're like, here at, you know, Sunny Potato Chips, our mission was inspired by Ra, the sun god. And you're like, bro, just relax. You're making, like, lentil crisps. What do you mean it was inspired by Osiris? Like, you're... How does it happen? Like, you know what? It's... Oh, I'm going off, man. One of the things that is funny to me about tech, and I don't really work in tech. I kind of work adjacent to tech, like everybody else on planet Earth, more or less. I always find it interesting, though, that tech has, like, just let me check for a second here. Don't worry, don't get me wrong, I'm tempted. I'm tempted by that sack dagger, but it's essentially suicidal. Is that tech has, like, a weird relationship where, like, you know, it's inventing new technology and, you know, disrupting current industries by, you know, underpaying independent contractors to do the job that previously, like, union employees did. But I say, and yet you use DoorDash. It's true. You got me on that one. You got me on that one. That being said, they also tend to have, like, a strange connection to, like, you know, New Age kind of philosophy, mindfulness, and meditation and stuff like that. It's just weird, and I say weird, you know, knowing that I'm ignorant on this. Like, I have no experience in tech or in, you know, any kind of, like, New Age philosophy. But I always find it funny that sometimes you'll read, like, a company's mission statement, and they're like, oh, I was on an ayahuasca trip deep in the Guatemalan jungle when I decided, you know what would be awesome? What about another company that makes oat milk? It was on this journey I realized that what this planet needed was another $7 a pint milk alternative company. Like, I don't know if this is okay to talk about on Google DeepMind. You know, I have no experience with psychedelics or, you know, hallucinogenic narcotics. I have friends who have experienced them. Some of them have said that it is a positive, life-changing experience from which, you know, they came away feeling like a more empathetic person who understood their place in the universe. Some of them, I don't know, like, if this is, again, like, I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying this is from anecdotal experience. Some of them maybe seem to take it too far, and now they think that the Earth is run by a group of, you know, lizard-type humanoids who live deep in the core of the Earth, but they kind of, like, hit that signpost on the way. Like, at first they were like, you know, I believed that I was, you know, a speck of stardust in the middle of a great galaxy made of human consciousness and yada, yada, yada. And then, like, I was like, well, that sounds okay. Then, like, a couple years later, they're like, well, yeah, that's the lizards. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know, man. I think maybe you should have quit while you were ahead. But regardless, none of them have ever said, oh, yeah, like, I had some mushroom tea. And then, you know what I realized is that, you know, what if we made a chocolate bar, but instead of using the cocoa bean, we used the tonka bean? It's a real thing. Look it up, sweetheart. I don't know, it just strikes me as... That's when I realized that the tonka bean has much greater margins than cocoa as a result of its previously undiscovered culinary uses. It just came to me on a... on a peyote binge, you know, deep in Joshua Tree. It's not just the U2 album anymore. I can't believe, and I don't want to jinx it, but I can't believe, like, we have tailwinds on this run right now. That's right, I'm using business terms after admonishing some business. I can't believe we have tailwinds right now. This run could be a win. And you know what's busted? Is that this... You're gonna be like, oh, how could he win this one when he, like, lost the last one? Again, you're not gonna believe me. It's because this one is better than the last one. Now, Ipecac, I'm gonna think twice about, okay? Because you can't come back from it. But I do think if we completely change our playstyle and we don't look for, you know, the full charge shots anymore, and instead we just go for the, you know, like as soon as it's charged, we send it, I think it could do something for us. But I do want to acknowledge, Ipecac shots have colliders on them. They have hitboxes. I mean, technically, yes, they must have hitboxes because they collide with other objects that do damage to them. But I mean, like, they can collide with other tiers, I think, which is the scary part for me. Right now, I believe there is a chance we make this run happen. So I don't really want to roll Ipecac just yet. It may change in the future, though. Anyway, I'm just saying, you know? It's always, and it's not all companies, but especially like at Whole Foods, if you want to have a laugh, just go grab a bag of like alternative, you know, vegetable crisps and see what it's like. You're gonna see sweet potato and lentil chips, and the back of that is gonna tell you a story you're not gonna believe. Inspired by Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera, opera chips seek to merge our two passions: fair trade, organic commodity trading, and musicals from the 1960s. I don't actually know when Phantom of the Opera is from. I apologize. I know it was hot in the 90s. I remember it must have been 3rd or 4th grade. One of my classmates, you know, we had like that "What did you do on summer vacation" kind of presentation. They were like, I went to Toronto, which if you're from where I'm from, that's like, it's basically like saying like you went to New York City if you live in like kind of middle America, which is to say there's a certain sense of like danger but also excitement. You're like, oh, big city, man. And they were like, yeah, the Princess of Wales Theater saw Phantom of the Opera. Everybody was like, what? Which is hilarious in hindsight, because really, like a 3rd grader at the theater, I'm not saying you can't see, you know, you see Disney on Ice or something like that, but you're like 9 years old. It's just kind of it's a weird idea, right? The ballet, maybe. The opera, I don't know. I mean, I guess Phantom of the Opera isn't an opera. And inflammable means flammable. What a world. Hey. Okay, one of you's got to go, because this is it's a little too hot for TV right now. Keep it going. Keep it going. There you go. Great shot. I firmly believe this run has what it takes right now. No Ipecac required. It's been a bit of a longer one. I mean, there's been a lot of long Isaac lately, man. I don't know. The drop tables are kind of scuffed right now. I fully acknowledge that when we had that, like, 30 streak going, we had some good, like, fast runs. Like, there were a lot of Isaac runs in a row that I set on YouTube that were, like, 28 minutes long. We're kind of, you know, we're entering a bit of a bear market, I suppose, when it comes to Isaac, where apparently damage upgrades, tiers upgrades, you know, DPS upgrades, and the sort, little less likely to show up, unfortunately. I mean, even, like, so our rate of fire, that's it right there. We were so close, too. Dude, we lost 2 in a row. I mean, I'm still glad. I think we didn't take Ipecac, and it went out kind of unceremoniously. But thanks for watching, and thanks for your sympathy as we deal with a game that is trying to stop us from having as much fun with it as possible. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. I'm also live on Twitch every day but Saturday, 11 to 4 p.m. Pacific. Come watch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.